What's up guys, it's the Actual Justice Warrior here, and today we're going to talk about the new cast of Star Trek and do an update on the Dear White People video I did a few months ago. So there's a new Star Trek series around, and as with anything Star Trek related, there's a lot of buzz surrounding it. However, that buzz quickly turned sour for a lot of people when the cast photo was revealed. Notice anything missing? If you said no, then congratulations, you don't have too much time on your hands. Apparently the new cast does not have enough white people, and a lot of people on the alt-right and the conservative side are none too pleased about that fact. They feel like political correctness is going to poison the new series, and they feel like the cast is straight out of an SJW handbook. And on the opposite side, the left is praising this cast for being super diverse and super innovative. But here's the thing, Star Trek has always been well known for diversity. In fact, this was the cast of Star Trek in the 1960s. That's pretty fucking diverse. And it was the 1960s. Star Trek also had the first interracial kiss ever on American television. So I really don't understand the outrage behind the new Star Trek cast. Sure, you have female captains and first officers, and it seems like all the primary people in the cast are non-white and non-male. But who cares? It's Star Trek. And while it feels like some other shows and movies are sacrificing plot and character development for forced diversity, like I said in every other video I've done on subjects like this, you have to wait and see what the results are. If the writing is really cringy and really social justice-y, and you have characters talking about their own racial experience, even though Star Trek exists in a universe when we've moved past race as a planet, then you can complain about it. Then social justice politics are ruining Star Trek. But if they use clever analogies and alien species as a metaphor for things that may be happening in our society, and that pisses you off, then I don't think you actually like Star Trek in the first place. I'm not a big Star Trek guy, but everybody that I know that is a Star Trek person is like, yeah, that's what Star Trek does. It's about morality, it's about philosophy, it's about certain issues in our society, and that is portrayed on screen by aliens and all kinds of stupid shit like that. Yeah, so if you're angry about the cast of Star Trek, I think you're being a little ridiculous. I think you should wait and see how it turns out, and maybe rewatch some of the older episodes to realize what you're getting upset at. Honestly, I'm tired of Hollywood rebooting everything, but that's a completely separate issue from the makeup of the cast in the reboot. Moving on. So like a month or two ago, I did a video about the reaction to the trailer for Dear White People. A lot of people felt like this was a show about anti-white racism, the trailer was awful, and there was a huge backlash on the internet, and basically the message of my video was calm the fuck down. I actually had seen the movie Dear White People, and while I found it really boring, it was actually a movie that had a lot to do with the internal hypocrisy of the Black Power movement and the Black Power movement on campus. The militant black girl from the trailer, while she's the protagonist, she's actually a not very sympathetic protagonist. You see, the whole movie she was hiding the fact that she was half white, and she was actually ignoring her white father who was dying of some disease. Which isn't really the makings of a sympathetic protagonist, if you ask me. I also knew by watching the movie that the racist Halloween party was actually staged by her because she wanted to get more attention about the racial issues on campus. So it was kind of a false flag Halloween party, which sounds really fucking retarded when you say it out loud. But then again, this was a movie that I didn't like, partially because the stakes were so low and so uninteresting. There was also a gay black character not featured in the trailer, and I would consider him the second leading person. And this character is actually based on the creator of the original movie, which the show is inspired from. And one of the big issues that character had with the Black Power movement on campus is that they actually reject him for being gay. So the message of the movie, and probably the show, since the show looked like it was the fucking movie basically stretched out into 8 or 10 or 13 episodes, was more complicated than the Netflix trailer led people to believe. So while I'll still defend it as a piece of art, I will admit that I haven't watched the show, because typically I don't watch things that I'm not very interested in. I know I could just bitch about it on the internet all day, but you know. Anyway, the reason that I bring all of this up is that the main cast member from the show actually did an interview, and it was awful and cringy and had a lot of things like this.
Is this a double standard that black people can be subjugated to racism and white people can't?
Right. Well, I mean, I think you have to start by understanding that black people can't be racist. Racism is the oppression of a marginalized group in a society that's based on white supremacy.
Based on white supremacy? So not only did she use a definition of racism that's so fucking narrow that black people can't be racist, but that definition also makes it clear that only white people can be racist. So if minorities are being racist against other minorities, Since the racism has to be based on white supremacy, I guess that's not racism either. I'm sorry, but the idea that racism needs to be institutional is fucking ridiculous. It's not power plus prejudice. Racism is discrimination or hatred based on race. Institutional racism might be power plus privilege, but that's why we have that qualifier institutional for that word, because racism is a broad term that can cover interpersonal, and if you want to be specific, you add words to it. You don't just change the definition of the actual word to fit your narrative. Anyway, they go on.
Sorry,
Spoiler alert.
if you are a white person, then you naturally benefit from white privilege.
But the thing is, racism, like you said, it's systemic. It's baked into our society.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't oppressed. I'm sorry. By the
Yeah.
way, it's not as good as it sounds. You don't want to be oppressed.
No, why do you want this thing? This thing
Yeah.
that's caused us to be murdered. And
Yeah.
why do you want this so badly?
You see, this is where people get rubbed the wrong way. You're the star of a TV series and you're claiming disadvantages based on race that you can never overcome. You're claiming that you live in fear and all this bullshit that we know is not true. And it's the ideas that are represented in this clip that really piss people off and really turn people against this regressive mindset. So while I defended the show, and I'll still defend the show's right to exist, actors are fucking stupid, and this is a perfect example of an actor being stupid and out of touch and ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, then please show me by leaving a like. If you want to join the conversation, leave a comment below. Subscribe for more content. Follow me on all my social medias. This has been the Actual Justice Warrior. Till next time.